popolazione considera questa come la propria corsa e vuole viverla intensamente, cominciando dalla preparazione.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here with us today. As usual, the press conference of the end of the year, which then anticipates the new year, is always rich with excitement. This year, it will be even more rich with news and novelties. And as you can see on our stage, we salute all the institutions, all our guests, and also our colleagues at the press who have a lot of new information. This is the 10th year of Miglia SRL, the 40th year of reevocation, of historical reevocation. We'll speak of Coppa delle Alpi and of many other things. And let's, as usual, greet the Mayor, Emilio Del Bono. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Allow me to just spend a second to thank Franco Gusali Beretta for the excellent collaboration that we have had during this period of his chairmanship. It was a very happy moment as a relationship. Unfortunately, not so happy for the pandemic, but we got over also these bad moments. We got over these very bad moments. And now, obviously, we'd like to wish a good moment of working to the new chairmanship, the new chairman. We already know her very well, and her quality, her way of being, her way of life is going to help very much in the collaboration in the next few years. Just a very quick line to say that for a long time we've had this mantra, thinking of Miglia. This is heritage of the city, not only heritage of ACI and of the fans who all rotate around Miglia, but a formidable, incredible heritage for the city, which we always have to anchor to our community. And I hope that the path we have taken will bring the fruit of the strategy of the brand that we have linked very much to this territory. And we've also said before, that a brand, it's a fundamental, essential brand of identity of the city. And in front of us, we have this next year and a half, or this next year that will link us to this appointment, of which Miglia will be a protagonist, where Brescia and Bergamo will be the capitals of culture of 2023. And we really hope that together we can think about moments of great sharing, because together, two essential identities of a city of over 3,000 years of history, and also a race which is famous all over the world, is that we hope that they can be united in a communication. We will be able to speak and tell about our territory and what is the value of Miglia. Finally, we just want to speak about the choice that Miglia is taking, which is putting its race in the month of June. And this is a good choice. because it's in a good position of the year, in which there is a bigger possibility of attracting people to see the race, and also concerning the climate, it's also much better. It's a much better period for the climate, because usually in May, unfortunately, it rains a bit, and this is a better moment for the race. This is a choice that we accept and we like very much. For us, this is our commitment to accompany with as the municipality, and to always have this very strong link as a community and as a municipality to the Miglia. This is an essential part of the city. I wish all a very good moment of working, especially to the new chairman of Miglia, and we hope that Mr. President Bonomi will also continue to reach his aims.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The mayor, in his greeting, gave us already two news. One is the new president of Miglia SRL, and also the calendar of the 2021 was in June. But for the rest, there is the press form, which tomorrow opens up the inscriptions for Coppa delle Alpi and Miglia 2022. And now the word to Aldo Bonomi. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this press conference, which for us is very important, the presentation of the new Miglia, but also for the new board of directors, which remains unchanged, except for the involvement of Beatrice Sautini. The majority of Brescians know who she is. She's always been a friend of Miglia. I would like to take advantage to the last part. I would like to say thank you to Franco Gosali Beretta for his work. He did a very good job, remarked and also said by the mayor of Brescia, for his contribution, for his capacity and for internationalization that he created, his way of creating a great team together with the CEO. We have to recognize his merits. And I'd just like to close with a huge applause to you for everything that you did and for what you will continue to do. I'm actually quite emotional. I must say, rarely it happens to me to be so emotional to speak, but this time I am very, very, very emotional, because believe me, I knew you before, but now I know you much better. But most of all, because I know what you donated with your smile on your face and what you were able to give, and the great relations that you have with institutions, which I have to give you all the merit. Obviously, it's like this, so it's okay. I'm very happy. And you were recognized by the mayor, and you had very good relations with me, a little bit less. As he said, I'm a little bit more strong, but anyway, let's hope to continue on the same road that you set out. I'd like to start from this to say that 2023 is clear what we want to do. We'll do this in 2022, and we'll a contribution to this new adventure. Next year will be the 40th edition of the Revocative, and it's 95 years from 1927, but for us it's 10 years from when Miglia SRL was started, which has allowed us to get to this point so that we can do our best. Regarding the new president, as we've already said, Beatrice Sautini, she's a businesswoman, a woman. She was able to show her value as a businesswoman, a lover of cars, having taken part in many, many Miglia races. She has a very big company which imports cars. It was the biggest in Brescia, and lover of Miglia Museum. And this goes in the right direction of what we are trying to do, which is a foundation, which we hope will be done as soon as possible. This is something that we want to reach at all costs. And at all costs, Miglia must remain in the heart and in the possession of the Brescian people. I would like to thank again Franco and wish the new president to be at the same level, and to the whole team, really good luck with all my heart, so that we can continue the road we started 10 years ago, and that it can continue, and which has had a huge impact by Franco. Thank you, Franco, and thank you all of you. Grazie. Thank you, President. Thank you, President. Thank you to the President of ACI Brescia. And now, very, very emotional. It's very nice. We'd like to present the new President, Beatrice Saltini.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to thank ACI Brescia and President Alto Bonomi for what they think of me. It is very important. It's very difficult to follow in Mr. Franco Gusali Beretti's footsteps, but I will put all my commitment. I will work very hard, and I will give as much as I can to Miglia, and to give my support concerning my experience and my sensitivity. It's important that Miglia continues as it has in the last few years to spread its wings towards the future, and always in a more structured way, convincingly rooted in the reality of Brescia, which is also an added value for the city. Thank you very much to the CEO and the staff of Miglia Saral, with whom I will definitely start a very important and pleasant work, and also difficult work.
Thank you very much, President. Have a good work. And to Beatrice Saltini. And for Mr. Piantoni. Okay, Miglia 2022, the Coppa delle Alpi, experience in the Emirates, Sorrento Roads, and now Miglia Green is coming back. All this for Alberto Piantoni. Thank you.
Yes, let's say that after 2 years of two very particularly difficult years, which everybody has seen, and we only saw the carrying out of Miglia Green together with the most important regulatory race in the world. Finally, this year, we can continue what we had decided to do in the past. So all the events that have the objective, the aim, which is that to bring the values that are behind the Miglia brand, to bring them to the world, to present them to the world. The aim to present an asset and a help to the communities that we pass through, starting from Brescia, because Miglia is a platform of communication, of an international platform of communication, and is recognized all over the world, and it must be always more recognized. So the fact that there are so many races and difficult races and different experiences that we will carry out will help us present us to the world. But the most important thing is the internationalization of our race, because there is a Miglia celebration in Japan. There is already something that is called a warm-up in the USA. We have decided to change a little bit the name, the title, because we believe it is more valid to speak about experience. Miglia Brescia is an experience which someone says mannequin bike, something you can buy. Because we select the cars, because we pass through 220 towns with all the warmth and the welcoming that we receive from all these wonderful cities. So obviously that taking around this type of experience around the world is difficult, but the value of Miglia is not difficult to express. The audacity that pushed our predecessors in the past years a concrete spirit, which is very similar of the very like of the people of Brescia. A city, but also to be local, to raise our antennas and to look all over the world. So our events have, in general, this kind of aim and characteristic. This year, then Giuseppe Cherubini will tell us more later. It's going back into the traditional route. And about the date, yes, it's also as a trend of the pandemic that made us push the race to June. But the peak goes to a lower levels, and let's hope that it will eventually disappear, this terrible virus. But but concerning the public and the fans, it was very important. The people along the route and also our participants appreciated very much the race done in June. And there's also the theme of safety. Driving for 14 hours a day with light is different from driving in the dark. Also, the drivers are tired. So the safety in general is a very important thing, and this is a very important choice for this race. We will be collected to the Miglia Green because the will to promote a sustainable mobility in the big cities, but also along the route, is a challenge for the future. So we will have to face this type of challenge. It's obvious that our commitment is to push the car manufacturers, because we invited them during the last edition. With some difficulty, they followed us, because it's not so simple to do 1,900 kilometers. But next time we'll have more availability from these car manufacturers and also from the infrastructure. There must be an infrastructure which supports this kind of change, not only the endothermic engines, which are, it is a cultural function. So to promote technology and promote infrastructures, but also maintain the heritage that the motor industry has, is something that we have to maintain and keep. It must be coherent, and we must look to the future and also be contemporary with our brand. Because the challenge that we have in the next few years will be that of having a brand that is able to dialogue, to communicate in an inclusive way, not exclusive way, but an inclusive way, that is able to be ironic, that can promote a way of life that is based on principles. And the principle of responsibility is what should guide us in the future. The Coppa delle Alpi is also going to be carried out, will be done next year. We're going to cross to 3 countries. In the future here, we will also go through the Alps, which is the green heritage of Europe. And we also have to, I live in Ponte di Legno, and obviously I love to speak about this area. These communities need to be supported. The experience, which is a new adventure, this will happen in February. This will be carried out through the 7 states of the Emirates in February. It is going to coincide with the Expo, and about 100 Miglia cars, only upon invitation, will participate in this format, which we would like to then take around the world. So these are the new things that I think have a new meaning for Miglia. I would also like to thank very much, if I can, Franco and all our collaborators, without whom it would not be able to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alberto. Thank you. Thank you, Alberto, also for speaking from your heart, especially in this moment, final moment. He said that he's from Ponte di Legno. I was born in Brescia, and I'm Bresciano, but I live in a town for maybe 20 years now, and I'm very happy to have known this morning that from Giuseppe Cherubini, even that where I live, the Miglia will pass through my town. Because that means as soon as it passes through, the town becomes more beautiful. And so for Corso of Coppa delle Alpi with Giuseppe Cherubini. Thank you, Giuseppe. Taking the word after the words of Piantoni is not that easy. It's not easy because he showed the joy that we've had to work together with our president, Beretta. Thank you. Miglia 2022, 15th to the 18th of June. You start from Brescia at 13:30. You go through almost all the south of Lago di Garda, especially Salò, Desenzano, Simeone, to arrive to the Park of Sigurtà, Mantova, Ferrara. We will stop and have lunch. For our first leg, we'll stop in Cervia Milano Marittima. The second leg, Forlì, we'll go there for the first time, San Marino, to go then to... But can I just say, if emotions can cause problems, it in reality gives the fact that we have really pleasure in our work. So we shouldn't be embarrassed if we feel this emotion. We'll go Passignano sul Trasimeno, where we'll stop and have lunch, then to go to Norcia, also in memory of the terrible event of some years ago. And then we'll go to Rome. The third leg, Rome, Ronciglione, Siena, where we'll stop and have our lunch. We go to Pontedera, Viareggio, through the Cisa Pass, and we go back to Parma, where we will stop our third leg. For the first time, in the fourth leg, we're going to go to Stradella, Pavia. We're going to go to the Autodrome of Monza. In that moment, there is an event of Milano and Monza Motor Show, and we thank them because Saturday we will have some trials, time trials in the Autodrome, and we'll stop and have lunch. And then we're going to go to Bergamo, Brescia. I must say, we're also going to go through to start again, to relaunch Bergamo. Bergamo has always been one of the seats where we've always gone through. But the first meeting that we had with the administration is remember to bring us there 2023. Some numbers: 1,900 kilometers, 112 time trials, 9 average trials. This is Miglia 2022. Thank you. Coppa delle Alpi. Coppa delle Alpi starts from Brescia, 9th to the 12th of March. The first leg is Brescia, because we're going to show our mountains, Polaveno, Iseo, Montisola, to come back to Brescia. The next day, we start from Brescia, go to Lago di Garda, Parco D'Adamelo, Brenta, the Lago of Molveno, Val di Sole, to arrive in Bormio. Also because what we want to do with Coppa delle Alpi, we want to get close to 2026. So Passo del Bernina, St. Moritz, we go to Passo Resia, and we're going to arrive in Seefield. Fourth leg, Seefield, Pass of Brennero, all the Dolomites, to stop in Bressanone. And also this is We want to, other than show the beautiful areas like Bormio, Seefeld, Bressanone, St. Moritz, we also want to show some valleys, Val di Sole. You'll see this world, how sometimes falls asleep, but it's actually absolutely beautiful. It's very, very beautiful to see. So we're waiting for you all for the Coppa delle Alpi of 2022, and have a good, enjoy yourself. Thank you, Giuseppe Cherubini. You made us, as usual, made us dream, taking us throughout Italy, and also with taking us abroad with Coppa delle Alpi. I'd like to say hello to everybody who's speaking to us in streaming, and for many months, streaming has been the most important view. Now, today, it's a way of speaking. I'd like to speak to Paolo Mazzetti. So, Paolo, we're going to speak about the register. He said to me 2 or 3 things before the press, which I'd like you to tell everybody.
Yes, of course. As first of all, I would like to remember that everybody said hello goodbye to Mr. Beretta, but obviously also the president of the Registro, of the committee of the Registro, will also have to change. It's because this was developed in 2018 because of Cibrescia's will, and now we have about 1,100 cars that are now pre-registered in the Registro. We have obviously received all the entry fee, the registration fees and everything, of about 300 cars are participants, which means they are specimens that already took part in the races between 27 and 57, whereas the eligible models are models of the cars that took part in the 27-57 race. But the news that I would like to spread today is that thanks to the harmony that we have refound with the Museum of Miglia, and I would like to thank the President Vittorio Palazzani, who is here today, who is next to the President of the Coppa Maglia. But also, we would like to thank everybody because we have started a long research to understand which are the cars that, in the order of starting as a brand, not as a model, that were entered but did not start because of the regulation. They could not take part in Miglia. You must also understand that there are more than 150 cars registered that never took part. In 1947, this happened because petrol and wheels and tires were rationed because of the war, but Miglia allowed for them to have more wheels and some liters of petrol, so many paid the entry fee just to have petrol and wheels and tires. Obviously, there are others. There are other things that we found out. There was a lacking of participation. The singer Gornino did not arrive in Brescia, and the race had already left 3 hours before, and of course this car could not take part. So within these models, there are 26 that we have inserted in the list, but there are hundreds and hundreds of cars that we are checking, that we are trying. The Lancia Aurelia B12, B12, the Chevrolet Corvette, Bugatti 39, and many other cars which are being loaded onto the website www.milimiglia.it, and there you will find all the information about the registro, about the cars that have been accepted, and the models, even after the post-war models, which would like to take part in 2022.
Thank you. Thank you, Paolo Mazzetti. Well, I remind you that from tomorrow starts the inscriptions for Miglia and Coppa delle Alpi. President Sautili, good luck, and Mayor, good luck, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, President Bonomi. always with so much strength. And thank you on my behalf to Franco Gosali Belletta. Thank you to all of you on my behalf. And the trip continues with the most beautiful race in the world. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
La popolazione considera questa come la propria corsa e vuole viverla intensamente, cominciando dalla preparazione.